Hey guys, this is a Defense Mechanisms MEPC plate carrier. I got this to replace my Ferro Slickster that I'd had for a while. Mainly, I replaced it because I was sick of waiting for all those proprietary Ferro parts to come back in stock. So I'm going to go over this plate carrier. I'm going to tell you what it is, I'm going to tell you how I have it set up, how I envision it being used, and then what I think about it and what I'm going to do going forward. So what is it? This is the Defense Mechanisms Mission Essential Plate Carrier, the MEPC. It's basically a minimalist, but not exactly low visibility style of plate carrier. This is in Ranger Green. This is the version with the MOLLE rear panel. That's the main reason that I got this. I was sick of waiting for MOLLE panels for the Slickster to come back in stock. Inside the plate bags, I have currently got a set of Hoplite Level 4 26135s, I think is the model number. They're super curvaceous, a lot more curved than your standard triple curves. I find them to be very comfortable. I actually switched from Hesco 3810s to these Hoplite plates, mainly to go back up to level 4 protection. So they are heavier than the 3810s. However, they're a little bit more comfortable even without plate backers. I was using plate backers with the 3810s in the Slickster. This plate bag does not seem quite thick enough to fit both the plates and the plate backers. Maybe it would with a very thin plate like a Hesco L210. So with the Hoplite Level 4 triple curves, I've added a little bit of extra weight, but the curves of that style of plate really help it hug to your body a lot better, and it feels like it helps you carry the weight better. You know, maybe that's just an impression that I'm getting trying to justify having heavy-ass plates. Almost all of the attachments that are on this plate carrier are the same ones that I had on the Slickster. I basically carried them all forward because all of them are really excellent. The magazine shingle is the Ferro Adapt KTAR. It's got the Kydex wedge inserts, the Haley strategic ones, I think, and those do a great job of retaining magazines, plus bungee. All the MOLLE at the front. You can attach additional things up here if you need to, or use it for routing cables. I'm a big fan of that. The shoulder pads are, again, the Ferro Concepts ones. I think they look cool, they're very comfortable, and they're pretty good for routing cables or hydration tubes. I think you can get a set of those from Defense Mechanisms. However, they're a little bit simpler. They're not quite as padded as this, and I don't think they've got all these little holes cut in them. Not that those ever come in handy for me. Down below, I'm still using the Ferro Concept Mini Dangler to hold medical stuff. I like this one because it's not so long that it intrudes into my belt line, meaning I can bend over or ride in a vehicle and it does not get in the way. However, I don't use the tourniquet strap on the bottom. I use an additional tourniquet holder on the side. This is the T-Rex Arms one. And I always have the option to add another tourniquet down here if I really want to, but I'd rather have it up here. It seems to stay in better, and I just like that placement. The Cummerbund that I'm using with this carrier is the Defense Mechanisms 5-inch hybrid QD version. So it's 5 inches, it has 3 rows of MOLLE webbing, it has elastic, and it has the plastic QDs on it. These make a huge difference. I will never, again, use a carrier without those QDs. They absolutely make getting it off and on much easier. And also, you don't have that horrible tearing Velcro sound. You don't have to reposition your mag shingle every single time that you swim into and out of the thing. And it also probably will last a lot longer because Velcro is limited use. It's a consumable item. So these QDs seem like a much better option. I really like the QDs. When I was using the Ferro Slickster, I had my radio in one of the elastic cells on the Cummerbund. Now it is in an HRT tactical wing expander. These are pretty nice. They're essentially, they're ambidextrous. They can fit either side because this little retaining strap on the bottom just flaps up and down. This keeps the radio close to the body, tucked in behind the Cummerbund QD. Stays in place, very stable, very much out of the way. Up here, the MEPC has got a zippered admin pouch. I don't really use that, and I ended up not putting any additional admin pouch up here. As much as I liked the design of the Ferro Adapt admin pouch, had a great taper and good shape and everything to it. I mean, I just put random ass bullshit in there and I never used it. And also it did slightly interfere with drawing mags out of the shingle. So did not come in handy. I guess I could stick stuff in this little admin slot if I needed to. I probably never will, but you know, it's there if you need it. This carrier has got the vertical webbing up here. You can use it as a routing or attachment spot for push-to-talks or anything like that. Currently, I have got a spare magazine flap top pouch on the right side of the Cummerbund. This is just an old surplus Eagle Industries Ranger Green pouch. It could hold two Stanag, aluminum style magazines. Really only holds one PMag comfortably, but this is a way to optionally scale up to holding additional magazines if I want them. But I can also just leave it empty, and it's fairly low profile. Same story on the other side. We've got two Eagle Industries surplus pistol magazine pouches, not used for pistol magazines, but rather just for little utility items like a flashlight or a multi-tool. On the back is a hydration pouch. This is by SKD Tactical. It's their pig hydration carrier. It's just MOLLE attached, in this case using malice clips to the MOLLE rear cummerbund. So this is not quick detach. If I wanted to compact this and wear a backpack over it, the fastest, simplest option would just be to pull the hydration carrier out of there and let this lay flat. It would be fairly flat and pretty much out of the way. I'm not really concerned about trying to carry additional stuff in a pack because that's not what I envision this carrier to be used for. So the way that I have this carrier set up, it's basically for static, like homestead defense or vehicle-based operations. I'm not intending to move long distances with that, so I really would like the ability to have additional hydration on the back, but I don't need multiple days worth of supplies. This is mostly intended to be used for a couple hours at a time, not for multiple days. I could take the hydration out of the back and just wear a backpack over this. It would not be the most ideal way to go about it. If I really wanted to be using this for multiple days, then I would have set it up in a different way. So what do I think about the MEPC overall? I think this is a fantastic minimalist or scalable carrier, particularly with the availability of the MOLLE rear. You could get one of these with the slick rear and use it as a minimalist or somewhat low visibility carrier with just a simple placard of some kind on the front, or you can go with the MOLLE rear and you can scale it up a little bit more with this larger cummerbund. The quality of the MEPC is excellent. It's well put together. It's also reasonably priced. The padding on the plate bags is adequate. Could be perhaps a little bit nicer. The shoulder strap adjustment, also not the greatest thing in the world, but it really is sort of a set and forget kind of thing. Probably my favorite thing about Defense Mechanisms as a company is that they let you just buy stuff. You can just place an order for it and then they will make it and send it to you. You don't have to wait for them to decide to make more plate carriers in the size, color, and configuration that you're actually looking for. Also, all of their stuff is very reasonably priced. It's good quality and it's not super expensive. The only thing that I don't really like about this carrier is actually the 5-inch hybrid QD cummerbund. I think it's functionally very nice. It's got elastic so it can hug the body a little better while still staying comfortable. The QDs are fantastic and the mesh is pretty breathable. However, I just don't really think I want to configure it with pouches on the sides. Problem one, if you're using the QDs, you cannot get the pouches really far forward, so they're always going to be a little bit awkward. I initially tried running a radio in a pouch on the MOLLE, and it was too far back. It was just too much in the way. So that's why I'm now using the expander wing to hold the radio. Also, I like the ability to tuck a spare magazine or two under my arm. However, I can do that with the elastic cummerbund. Not to mention, I can actually get the magazine closer to the front of the plate carrier. This is a little bit farther to the side. Your mileage may vary on that. Some people don't mind at all having a whole bunch of stuff on the sides. Also, if you wanted to run side plates, the side plate bags attach to the MOLLE, so you would need to use this specific cummerbund. I don't care about side plates. I would go with shoulder deltoid plates before I'd go with side plates. That's a conversation for another time entirely. So what am I doing next with the MEPC? I'm going to swap over to their hybrid elastic cummerbund. This has all the features that I like about the cummerbund that's currently on there. It's got the QDs, it's got elastic for fit and comfort. However, it doesn't have that MOLLE that I'm basically never going to use, and I'm still able to tuck an extra magazine into these elastic cells if I really want it. I'm also going to replace the HRT expander wing with this one, the Defense Mechanisms expander wing, because this one is available in larger sizes. This is the medium one, and it fits a Baofeng UV9 with a PTT on the side, whereas this smaller elastic one does not really fit it comfortably. I think I could cram it in there, but it would blow the elastic out goatsy style in probably a matter of days. Everything else about this setup is probably going to stay the same. So yeah, if you've noticed, my plate carrier setup hasn't changed a whole lot on the outside. So that's because I really like the way all the rest of the stuff performs, and I don't see any reason to replace it. So this is sort of my bizarre Defense Mechanisms, Ferro Concepts, hybrid carrier design, I guess. We'll call it the ferritic mechanisms. Just going to swap these pieces onto it, and I think it will be good to go for a pretty long time. So let me know if you have any questions about any of this stuff or about plate carriers in general, and thanks for watching. See you next time. And these Flecton shirts really suck as combat shirts under a plate carrier. The zipper is right on my sternum, getting driven in by the weight of the carrier.